Hey everybody, CLARKSIDE here. Today I'm going to talk about the June update for Titanfall. I've had the weekend to give it a good testing, and overall I have to say I'm pretty impressed with what Respawn have done this time around. This is the 4th update, and with it, it brings some of the biggest changes we've seen yet. Also, at the end of the video, I'll be giving you my thoughts on some new leaked game modes, so make sure you hang around for that. Before we get into the juicy leaked info, I want to run through some of the changes and new features. I'm not going to go through the patch notes point by point like I have done before. Instead, I'm going to give you my top 5 features and changes. For more info, I've included a link to the full patch notes down below. So, let's get into my top 5. At number 5, we have burn card changes. So, Respawn have recognised that people were earning a lot of burn cards, completing a lot of challenges, and not getting chances to use them because they were limited by the size of their deck. So for starters, there's an overflow. You can see what cards you've unlocked, but you have to cut your deck down to a legal size to use those cards in the overflow. Also, they've increased that deck size from 26 cards to 46. On top of that, you now get 6 more cards in your deck per generation that you regenerate to, reaching a maximum of 100 cards. That perhaps is a little bit too much, but, you know, thanks for the generosity, Respawn. Really appreciate it. Number 4, we have changes to Auto Titans. Your Auto Titan will now use all Titan abilities. If you've got Electric Smoke equipped and someone rodeos your Titan, it will deploy Electric Smoke. Good work. If you've equipped the Particle Wall and your Titan comes under fire, it will pop that Particle Wall and hide behind it. This is a big one for me personally because I'm always flip-flopping between using Guardianship and not using Guardianship. So I'm going to give this a thorough testing and see whether there is actually ever any use to use Guardianship again. For number 3, we have more changes to Titans with Titan burn cards. There's 14 new burn cards covering amped Titan weapons and enhanced Titan abilities. Also as a bonus, you won't lose your selected Titan burn card if you die as a pilot. You'll only ever lose it when you die as a Titan. For number 2, we have Marked for Death. Marked for Death is a new game mode, and it plays out where one player from each team spawns in Marked for Death. It's a race for the opposing teams to kill the marked player on the other team. Once one mark has died, one more player is selected on each team to be the mark. First team to 10 kills wins the match. I really enjoy this new game mode. It's a lot more fast paced. It kind of feels a little bit of a mix between attrition and Pilot Hunter, but there's always this objective of trying to kill the mark on the other team. I wouldn't say it really kind of appeals to the competitive scene, but you know, I can't really speak for pro players because you know I've never got into that side of gaming. I've been in clans before, but I've only ever got as far as scrimmaging and you know doing some practice rounds and filling in for people who were like full-time members of the clans. You know, I think this would be a kind of game mode that clans and professional teams might play in a scrimmage as a practice, but you know, I can't see it like getting into the esports side of things. For public matches, this is a really unpredictable game mode because, you know, in most other game modes, if you're a really good player, you can carry the team. But in this, you're only as good as your weakest player because at some point in time, they're going to be marked as the Marked for Death player. And if they can't survive, then that is giving points away to the opposing team. So like I say, I find this mode really fast paced. It's great that Respawn are responding to people's cries for new game modes, but the only reason why this isn't the number 1 for me is the fact that it's what's called a featured game mode. Marked for Death is only going to be around for a limited amount of time, which seems a great shame to me because I'm really enjoying it. I can't see myself getting bored of it anytime soon like I have with some other game modes, and I hope Respawn either bring it back at a later date or reverse their decision and actually keep it as a permanent game mode from here on in. So, for my number 1 change or update, weapon balancing. Respawn have changed the weapon balancing of this game. There isn't anything completely earth-shattering, just a few tweaks and changes here and there to get people using more than just the R101 carbine. So for starters, The R101 has had a bit of a nerf. It's now not so all-powerful at long ranges. They've reduced the magazine side from 30 to 24, and with the extended mags it's now 30 instead of 40. They've also given the rate of fire on the R97 a buff, so now it will fulfill its role of being a close quarters weapon and win more of those gunfights. It's now got the fastest time into aim down sight, and for those of you who love rodeoing Titans, it now does more damage to Titans. For the Hemlock, Respawn have given this weapon the biggest buff out of any of them. Now it's no more than 4 bullets to drop an enemy at any range. It used to be 5 at long range. If you've got the silencer mod equipped, then it's a maximum of 5 bullets compared to the 6 it was before. Also, to help it fulfill its role as being a long range weapon, it has less kick when it's fired. And the Amped Hemlock kills with a maximum of 3 bullets. With the G2, it now kills pilots with 3 shots at any range. It used to be 4, and if you've equipped the silencer, then it'll be a maximum of 4 bullets compared to the previous 5. For people who are fans of the match trigger attachment, that now gives you 12 bullets in a magazine compared to the 8 it had before. The Amped G2 now kills with 2 shots instead of the 3 it was before. So what has this weapon balancing meant for the game so far? I don't know if it's just my imagination or not, but I seem to have seen a lot of people using more weapons than just the R101 carbine. For me, the Hemlock was one of my favourite weapons on Generation 1, before a lot of people really learned to play the game, and everyone started using, well, almost everyone started using the R101C carbine. So, you know, I've got back into using the Hemlock. I've been really enjoying that weapon. For me, it really holds its own at long ranges now. So that's the rundown of my top 5. Let me know what you think of this new format, whether you prefer what I've done today on this video, or whether you prefer the point-by-point breakdown of patch notes. So now I just wanted to run through a Neogaf post. Again, I've linked this down below if you want to read it for yourself. So before I get into the game modes, it's worth noting that this information came from Razor UK, who's a pretty reliable source. He leaked a lot of information about Titanfall before it was released in March. So the first game mode that we have is Capture the Titan. The description for this mode is capture the Titan and bring it to your base. There's some related text to that, and that's get your team's Titan to the capture point. Don't let enemy Titan reach the capture point. So from this limited information, it kind of sounds like you both have a Titan that starts off on one part of the map, and it has to get to the other side of the map without dying. I should imagine that the matches will be played in rounds, like Last Titan Standing. For the second game mode, we have Titan Tag. There's no description for this at the moment, but I should imagine from that name it sounds like it could be a Marked for Death style game mode involving Titans. There's a mode called Bodyguard. There's been some found text which is Titan_Escort. This, to be honest with you, at the moment sounds very similar to Titan Tag. There's very little information to go off here. You know, there's nothing to indicate whether it's a AI Titan that you need to protect or whether it's an actual player. Finally, we have Big Brother. The description that's been found for this is attack and defend the control panel. This sounds a lot like Search and Destroy for anybody who's familiar with Call of Duty game modes, and there's a bunch of related text here. So there's the program was stopped, you launched the virus, defend the panel, the virus has been launched, the clock is ticking, a teammate launched the virus, hack the panel before it finishes. So this text supports the Search and Destroy style game mode that a lot of people are speculating, myself included. I'd really like to see this game mode. This mode certainly would be a favourite for competitive players, for people in clans, for esports. You know, I would really love to see Titanfall blow up on the esports scene. Of course, let me know what you think about these game mode ideas down below, and give me some of your ideas about what you would like to see in game modes. So that's my rundown of the June update for Titanfall. It's been a lot of fun hanging out, guys and girls. Make sure that you like and comment on this video, and if you're not already a fan, that you subscribe to my channel for more great gaming content. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have the July unboxing of my Geek Box. There's going to be more Titanfall videos, there's going to be some Battlefield videos, and there's some videos that I'm just keeping secret to myself, so keep checking in, click that subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out, see you soon, YouTubers.